but of Lilith talking to the snake in the Garden of Eden with like Adam and Eve in the background there.
Lilith looks like Will Smith.
Yeah, true.
They are.
Welcome to the internet's #1 fake history podcast, The Lore Boys. I'm your host, Ethan Palmer, and with me are my two sons, James and Peter. Surprise for everyone, one of them will murder the other before the episode is done. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to find out.
I thought you were gonna go James and Peter and the Holy Host, but that's a good one.
That'd be a good one too. Yeah.
We should do more collaborative writing, I think. The fact we write our episodes on our own is, I think, a mistake at this point. We got to change things up.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say my thing was better, okay? And you guys will figure out why, but my thing was better, that one of you guys was going to murder each other, okay? Because we were talking about a specific story from the Bible, which is spoiling it for everyone at home now. But I think I should write it on my own. I don't think you guys should have any fingers in my pies. Thank you very much.
People get to adapt the Bible constantly and then just pretend like it's been like that the whole time. You could just fucking do it, Ethan.
Which is what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about World of Darkness lore. If you want to support this show, consider heading to our Patreon, linked in the description below, where you get us bozos talking a bunch at you. Even more than we talk about you now, basically, right?
Yeah.
Jamie, you looking up if there's any new patrons? Because there's not. Don't worry about it.
No, I was trying to find out because I know James is in the Bible. I know Peter's in the Bible. I'm like, is Ethan in the Bible? But yeah, he is, apparently.
Yeah, it is a biblical name. I believe it's from the Rabbinic Bible, but it's a Jewish name, I think. Going way back at some point.
In the Hebrew Bible, Ethan the Ezrahite, a wise man to whom Solomon was compared to. In
Solomon, I know that name.
Yeah.
Anyways.
He landed that plane on the Hudson River after it hit a goose.
Yeah, King
Solomon
Sully.
Burger.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so today's topic is World of Darkness lore. Oh no. Okay, it's been requested by a million people. I'm gonna say a few of the people that I remember. Darkside for sure. Dirk for sure. Magnus for sure. A million people. I'm sorry for forgetting your guys' names because I did look it up and said I gotta write down all these names, and I didn't. But I will shout out producer David for you guys got to thank him because producer David is the one who bribed me into doing it. Because when he uploaded all our YouTube videos, he said, "Do World of Darkness." And I said, "Okay, producer
perfect.
David."
Yeah. Here I was gonna ask for his email on PayPal, and I'm glad this is taken care of. Never mind.
So we're gonna be talking about the lowercase World of Darkness, which is the setting for the uppercase World of Darkness, which is this long-spanning series of tabletop RPGs, video games, and a bunch of other media set in this shared universe. So it started as a tabletop RPG in the 90s. I believe 92 was the first publication. But one that you might have heard would be Vampire the Masquerade, of which Bloodlines 2, the video game, just came out yesterday at time of release of this episode, right? You don't have to like that game or know anything about that game to get into this episode because we're just going to be talking about, I don't know anything about those games. I've never played them, but we're going to be talking about the creation myth for these worlds, basically. We're going to start with that creation myth, creation of the world. Then we'll transition to the creation of vampires, of which I'm pretty sure there's vampires in Vampire the Masquerade video games.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
But that does stand to reason.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to play that game, but it's been like the first three Stalkers. Vampire the Masquerade, I only know as being so buggy. You need a doctorate to be able to just repair it yourself, basically.
Oh yeah.
You need this mod here needs to be used in conjunction with this mod, but don't use this mod this way. You have to use this mod here. Anyway, here is the 400 row and 30 column Excel sheet explaining how to get this thing to run for most of the time. It's just wow.
Yeah. So in the beginning, there was darkness, but there was also the Almighty God. It said that both were infinite and also eternally separate from the other, while also contained within the other. What does that mean? I don't know, man. I can't picture it, you know?
I wish I was a gospel preacher right now, just talking about vampires.
It's funny you say gospel preacher. So there's two sources for this episode, which is the book Demon the Fallen, and the book of Nod. And the entire first half, the entire creation myth comes from this book, Demon the Fallen. and it is a preacher. A preacher is visited by his dead son, who's being possessed by a demon. We will find out demons used to be angels, but his son is being possessed by a demon, and the demon is telling him the story of creation, basically, to a preacher. That's funny.
Okay, cool.
So I guess God has a problem finding his keys or something in a world without any kind of distinction, and so God sets about fixing that. Right? God creates first the angels of dawn and sets to them a task. Okay, the task he gives them is to, quote, carry the will of the maker along the perimeter of creation, framing the perfect balance between is and is not. Again, what does that mean? It's pretty open to interpretation, and I really like the way the creation is portrayed in the fiction here. It is a demon talking to a preacher about the Bible and being very like, yeah, man, it's speculation, it's your interpretation, but like every interpretation is correct, right? Where it's like, hey,
right,
the universe was created in 7 days, but like time wasn't really a thing, so those 7 days were also billions of years where like people were created specifically from God in an instant, and then also evolved from monkeys, and very like whatever the fuck you want it to be, it can be, you know?
Right. Okay.
They also call God a woman with a big ass. So
Nice.
can't hate that.
What?
You know what I mean? Yeah, like right at the beginning of I didn't write any of this down, so I'm going off memory here. But like right when he starts talking to him, he calls God a she, and like the preacher gets offended, being like she, like because the whole time the preacher's like, you're not real, like you're a devil, so like you're my enemy, I don't trust you, kind of thing. And it's all about like the demon trying to convince him, right? And so he calls him she, and then the guy's like, well, she, God's definitely a he. And he's like, God's nothing, dude. Like, it's not more believable that he's a guy with a beard than he is a woman with a big ass. Okay. So get over yourself. Which I think is a nice way to start us off here.
I was hoping he would be like more direct with it. It's just like, she, I don't think so, demon. You're lying to me. You're trying to trick. He's like, no, it's like she, and she's caked up. And the preacher's just like,
pants too,
okay, maybe you're onto something.
Yeah, like a stained glass window, but instead of just like a guy with a beard and his hands together, it's just a very thick Latina woman.
Yeah.
And people are lined up every Sunday morning to get in there, you know?
Yeah.
The candles, the speaking of Latinas, the candles that you would have with like the like Mary on them or whatever, they'd be shaped like an oil lantern. They'd have to like bend out at the bottom there to fit God's ass on it.
I'd gobble her Eucharist. Am I right?
It would be pieces of like flat dried cake instead of bread, right?
Yeah, of course. So God was all things.
Take a big old sniff before you put it in your mouth.
Yeah. Instead of wine, it's like frosting. You just like take it in.
So this God, our Latina God, was all things. So all things that were not God were nothing, and you can't have nothing without something. And so the angel set about boiling down God's will into some things. So there can be distinction between, like, just creating the world, right? And it's said that all things that are created are discrete forms of God's will, basically.
Okay.
So again,
I spelled Eucharist first try, by the way. I'm looking at my notes right now. I'm like, fuck yeah.
How do you? You would have been strangled by your crucifix if you didn't do that.
I'm Eastern Orthodox. It's different.
So I posted you guys a picture. So this is a picture of the demon Gaviel inhabiting the form of this boy Noah, the preacher's son.
He looks like Will Smith.
Yeah, sure. That's because he's black.
He's also got Will Smith's like forehead and beard from the 90s.
I'll be honest. I was listening to a thing about Will Smith today, so I thought I was primed to think it looked like Will Smith, but I did think Will Smith when I first looked at him.
Okay, you're both racist. I don't know what
to say. I listened to a 30-minute thing on him and his life today, and he has pretty tough life. He was some highs and some lows. That guy.
You're in Hollywood that long, man. You've got to have seen some brutal shit. It's
So the demon Gaviel, who was present at the beginning of creation, describes it to Matthew the preacher. Here's a quote. God's will was the first act, remembered in some sources as fiat lux and regarded in others as the Big Bang. On that first day of infinite potential, we rode out in our multitudes, the throne of moonlight, the crimson dominion, the 7 radiant cherubim, under them lesser creatures like the archangel Viridian, the power of reflection, even my humble self. On that first day, literally everything was possible, and our job was to winnow that possibility, spinning it into threads and weaving the best of all possible worlds. So, not to bury a lead, but this guy is a demon and will become a demon. And his mandate from the jump was to create a perfect world and to create a perfect world for humans specifically, which we'll talk a bit more about. And in many ways, he still believes that. Like, demons aren't like the we're so evil all the time. In this, there's like more like John Constantine moral, like moral grayness to a lot of it, you know?
Okay.
So he explains that he and his kin, specifically those of the House of the Dawn, the first angels to be made, were closest to God and the first to be created, but as a result, they have the least direct influence over material things. They're by and large concepts, or as Gaviel puts it, statements of his will rather than the fulfillment of it. Again, one of the angels' names is the power of reflection. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the idea that you can see yourself and recognize yourself is what this angel creates in the world.
Okay.
Like concepts, high concepts, basically, right?
Right.
After the House of the Dawn comes the House of the Firmament. We learned recently what that was. You guys remember?
It's the plane that separates the heaven and the earth, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the barrier between the waters of heaven and the earth.
That's
The first firmament from Marvel. Okay, I was trying to remember where we.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
this was
remember
you.
I couldn't remember when we talked
Yeah.
about it. I just remember looking it up.
Yeah. You were talking about a space vampire last week during the Venom episode, so now we're just carrying on to Earth
Yeah,
vampire.
exactly. I mean, like, space vampire, pretty closely related to the Bible, right? Kind of God when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the last times we were all together in person, my girlfriend wears all black, has black hair, and has
Oh, yeah.
tattoos, and is like lighter skin, right? So one of our friend's daughters went up to her and was like, "Are you a vampire?" Like, completely earnestly. And it was a missed opportunity because she said no. She could have had that kid believing she was a vampire all night, which
For
would have been a
years.
fun thing. But yeah.
It is it's a skill that not everyone has right away. Some people pick it up really quickly, but lying to children is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
About like shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, I have a tree that's down in my front yard, like a pretty massive tree, like a big old oak tree. The first time my nephew came over and said, "What happened to that tree?" Like, without missing a beat, you say, "I pushed it over. I'm incredibly strong, dude." And then they just go tell their dad, "My older brother, forever, Uncle Ethan's stronger than you," which is just super not true. You know what I mean? But they just constantly tell him, "Uncle Ethan's stronger than you." And it's great. It's just so funny. You know, it's so great.
I forgot about that vampire thing, Jay, because we crashed at my dad's place, which is close, like out in the country, close to our buddy's house. And I remember, like, we were just a little continuing to party once we got in there. And I sat up at one point after lying down. We were joking about Kat being a vampire, and the angle she was sitting at means the mirror that was on my left, I couldn't see her reflection, and I was like, "Ah, fuck, she got me."
Yeah.
Invited me to your house.
It's weird that she asked to be invited in before she took her first step in and everything. Yeah.
Very weird. I thought she was just polite.
Yeah. Asked for no garlic from the pizza that we cooked from your dad that's been in the freezer for a while.
Yeah, that was good fucking pizza.
She turned down that steak to the heart. It's like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
We're all doing it.
It's a party.
So after the House of the Dawn comes the House of the Firmament. This brings life to the world. The third house, that of the Fundament, takes that life and all things and gives them shape. So this is kind of creating matter. The House of Spheres comes fourth and sets the stars in motion, creating time, giving time to creation.
Cool.
The House of Spheres is followed by the House of the Deep, the Oceanites, as they're called, who give the world art and beauty and flux. Gaviel tells us, and I just really like this line, that they are called the Oceanites because they're represented by the ocean, something which is always there but never the same. It's a fun way to think about them, basically.
Oh, yeah, of course. Cool.
6 is the House of the Wild, those who control nature and the actions of all things living, ecosystems and instinct and all that stuff falling to them. And finally comes the House of the Second World, led by the Silent Seraph. The 7th house are the Angels of Death. With the 6 others, all the houses are known as the Houses of the Holy, right? So we've got 7 houses, 7 days of creation. Again, it's metaphor, it's allegory, it's whatever. But this is like when the Bible says, 7 days. It was for at least 3 of those days there wasn't time yet. So
Okay.
doesn't match up.
No.
Does not match up to the days in the Book of Genesis. Because one day, I think day 4 was specifically birds and fish. So no,
Right.
it does not, because that's crazy. You couldn't match a good story to that part of that phrase in the Bible. You know what I mean? Took you a day for fish. They're all the same, dude. They're all the same. My daughter could draw one. All right, so get over yourself, God.
Dude, I was watching someone fish up like 30-pound catfish today. And those things are fucking aliens, man. The way, and their eyes are like as big as a human's eyes. You look at them, but they're these blob like. Fuck.
Was he fishing or noodling?
He's fishing.
Yeah.
Oh
Fishing,
shit! Okay.
Because he had his son, and he's like, my son weighs 20-something pounds. I want to catch a fish that weighs more than my son. And he stayed out there until he did. And there's some real river monsters out there.
For sure.
Jeremy Wade. You know, like I just caught every big freshwater fish on River Monsters, and then just ended the show after he caught the last one. It's crazy.
Wow, no dogs left to chase or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
No
what I heard.
hurricanes
At
left
least
handlebars.
I'm not looking it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we even
he
know
put handlebars
all
on
of
every
the-
hurricane?
You couldn't know. You couldn't know that you caught
No.
every fish. There's too many.
There's one lake that's like 10,000 feet deep. Like it's so
By
deep.
call.
And
Yeah, you sent me a reel about this. You've been sending me like our classic fucked up shit on Instagram, and then every like third reel is like legitimately cool and interesting. I'm just like, I love this fucking content. Like there's just like an entire video about like an armored dinosaur that I really liked was cool, and then the thing about the deep lake was very neat as well.
I'll say, I said there's no way. There's only like around 18,000 types of freshwater fish. That's how many years is that, right?
Well,
I'm not
he
saying-
didn't
I'm not
catch.
saying that
He's
he
not
did
catching
it.
perch. Like he's a river monster guy, so he's getting 30-pound catfish and then like something with big fucked up teeth, right?
That's
Like
that's 49. If he catches every freshwater fish, that'd be 49 years catching a new fish every day. So probably
he's old.
probably
Maybe he's good at it. I don't know.
But every big fucked up fish that's good for the show he caught, we'll say.
That's what I had read. I will not check. I will not be fact checking that. I heard they canceled the show after he caught his last river monster, and I'm like, great, cool, I love that.
the deep lake has a freshwater seal. Do you think he caught the freshwater seal?
Yes, yeah.
That's a mammal though, right?
That's not really a monster. It was so chubby and cute.
I hope it has a seal, otherwise all the water would flow out, man. What the hell? So the creation myth for the world of darkness, like I said before, mirrors that of Judeo-Christian creation from the Bible, with some small changes here or there, like the houses, matching the days, but not really matching the days. And we'll get into some of the other, or you guys can play spot the difference, I guess.
Yeah.
And spoilers when we start talking about vampires. That's one of them. I'll give you one for free, right?
Yeah, I haven't read the Bible. There are no. I mean, in the first few pages, there's no vampires. There's no vampires in the first few pages of the Book of Mormon either, which I also started and put down. But couldn't say there's not. There's weirder things than vampires in the Book of Mormon. Certainly,
I've never read the Quran. I've never read the Torah. I've never read the Bible. So I'm not saying they're not in there, because there is weird, like there's demons in the Bible. So why not? Why not vampires? Are vampires demons? Maybe they're related, as we're gonna find out today, huh?
Do you know if the 7 days and 7 houses correspond to the vampiric houses you play in game? Because I know there's like multiple classes which have different play styles. I don't know if you looked up that at all.
I know. I've literally zero knowledge of the video games for Vampire the Masquerade. I bought 2 source books for the tabletop RPG written in the 90s, like a decade before the video game came out. I have no clue. You can quiz me all you want. I'm out. I'm gonna get a 0 on the quiz.
That's the 0 out of 1. I do not have a follow up. That's fine.
We don't get that far in vampires. We're gonna talk about like the first vampire basically, and like where vampires started. That's as far as we're gonna get.
You said that you like hadn't read the Bible and all this stuff, and I haven't either. But I remember wanting to and like picking it up and making an effort. But when was the last time that they retranslated this thing? Could they retranslate it and modernize it a bit? Because like, and someone said unto you.
Do you want Paul to say Riz? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying right now?
I was just gonna say, like, I would put money down right now. I would put $50 down right now that there's a Skibbity Bible that you can buy. Like I will bet you there. I do think that there are like there's official translations, and then I think
Right.
like since publication has become pretty popular, I would imagine that people just like because you can't copyright it, right? So anybody could just make their own Bible and sell it. So I'd imagine there's probably a lot of like contemporary Bibles if you want
Okay. Yeah, I don't need skibbity riz. Like just talking to me like a normal person. Like nobody talks like that, you know?
You don't want any untos or begats anymore, really? You would rather have that taken out than begat back into modern parlance.
Yes.
Too bad. Also, if there's a Skibbity Bible, I will be getting a Crusader tattoo, and I will just like join the military and retake the Holy Land. That's too far.
So, as part of their mandate, they've created the world now. The 7 houses get one final task, which they do complete, which is creating man, of course, right? So Gaviel tells us, commanded by the Maker, we infused reality with some of his divine essence, contained in creatures who would grow in time to rule the universe in his stead. Understand that when one says humankind was made in God's image, it's nothing so literal as 2 legs, 1 nose, 7 thoracic vertebra. Your shape is not in the image of God, your soul is. You carry within you a small reservoir of the essence of existence that God used to create the entire cosmos. Powerful though we Elohim are, we are barren of that true making fire. You are his true children, and your holy nature courses through your blood, flickers in your emotions, and sings through your inventive thoughts. So, important, we're not going to get very far in the timeline, but important in the games that like, you know, magic and stuff like there, you do have soul. You do like humans do have essence, have soul, have like a piece of the divine within them, whereas angels and demons do not. They do not contain those pieces within themselves, but humans do. So humans in particular are like can be more powerful than some of these beings, right?
It's neat that you mentioned that their class or their race technically is the Elohim, because we just mentioned the Book of Mormon rather. In the Bill Maher documentary Religulous, there's like a clip of like a Mormon Jesus cartoon, and the Mormon name for Jesus, for God, is Elohim, where like your soul is judged by Mormon Jesus, Joseph Smith, obviously the goat, and then Elohim, who is the God who lives on a planet in space.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy that they got
Jamie,
it so
read the
right,
Book of Mormon,
honestly.
and let's just do that episode. Frankly, I got a copy here. I
got it
from
reading the Bible, man.
I got it from Metro Mormons and just kept it. And so it's like I've got it on me.
Why do I have to do it? I'm touching my nose. I'm not doing Book of
Because
Mormon.
you just said you wanted to read the Bible. That's why.
Yeah. You expressed interest in religious text.
You say don't read that. Read the Book of Mormon instead.
I tried. I just couldn't. So I don't know if I'd do any better there. Maybe Space Alien God would be better, but
yeah. I'd say don't read the
like
Bible.
for the Expanse. Even this is the next one.
So once humans were created, God gives the angels 2 last commands. Okay, to love humans as they love the Maker, and despite that love, to never reveal themselves to humans. Okay. So the people, the men, the women who multitudes of angels long to serve were made to think themselves in an uncaring and mechanical universe was God's will. Okay. You're meant to love them immensely, and you've created this world for them, and you're meant to continue stewarding them in some way, but they're never meant to know of your existence or my existence. They're supposed to think that the world just happens around them, basically, right? Atheism. Atheism is law according to God, basically.
Cool.
Okay. He created the fish to not know the water was around them at all times.
Yeah, exactly. Fish can't know about birds. I'll fucking kill you if you tell them, okay?
Yeah. The fish that run into birds are not having a good day most times.
No, it's certainly not.
There's definitely some fish that clap back though. You know what I mean?
30-pound catfish fuck a seagull up, certainly.
Yeah, there's definitely some fucking ducks that are sitting on the top of the water, like not ready to have their day messed up in the way that they do. Okay. Yeah. So into the world we have the first 2 people. You guys know them. Go ahead and say them. First 2 people. Easy one.
Oh, Adam and Eve.
Not Adam. Come on, Jamie. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Adam and Lilith, of course.
Oh,
right?
I was going to make a silly joke trying to think of 2 names that were unrelated, but I was too slow. So, Adam and Lilith. Of course, his first wife is Lilith.
His first wife is Lilith. So this is not in the Bible. Lilith is mentioned in the Bible. She's a demon in the Bible. She's a woman who steals babies, and she's like a mother of demons, basically. But in Jewish folklore, mainly from around like the Middle Ages, it seems like between like 1100 and 1500, there's a lot of these stories of Lilith, where Adam was when Adam was created, he was made from clay, and Lilith was made from the same clay that he was, right? Whereas Eve famously was made from Adam's rib.
Yes.
So how it goes in Jewish folklore, again, is that Lilith was Adam's first wife, and a demon not only in the sack, but she would be branded as such in time, right?
Hell yeah.
Since Lilith and Adam were cut from the same clay, she refuses to submit to him, right? So God's like, that's not cool. You're supposed to submit to the man. So you got to leave. You can't stay in the Garden of Eden then, right? The world of darkness, the angels, they then create Eve from Adam's rib, specifically to make her lesser, to make her like subservient and beholden to Adam, right? So Lilith rules, and Eve can get bent. I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I mean? And
I don't know if Eve really has a choice. Too. This is really a God thing.
Yeah, she doesn't have a choice. She's a rib. She's always bent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, however, have a problem. Okay, so sorry to. I just wanted to play the fun joke on Jamie there, that I would get him to say Adam and Eve and say, actually, they created someone else first, okay? But we are going to talk about Adam and Eve primarily. But there's a problem in the Garden of Eden, right? Being born into paradise. What? No, not yet. We will talk about snake. It's not going to be so literal as a snake. I'll say that. But being born into paradise, the seraphim who watched them, never revealing themselves, realized that as they could not want for anything, they could not grow. So the metaphor that Gaviel uses is keeping your child out of school because they are perfect as a baby, right? Like, do you rob them of a fulfilling life by never teaching them language, never letting them know that they're people, like never giving them any self-actualization? Right. They're really just like animals. It's described as like the house of the hunt, like the house that controls animals and like instinct. They like will protect human, like animals won't prey on humans ever. You know, like they can't be harmed, they can't die. It's mentioned explicitly a few times, like the house of the angels of the second world, that the angels of death, they like humans don't know death, and like they talk about like, oh, the risk of teaching humans death at some point and like what that would entail. So like they can't die, they just walk around eating fruit, and like it's described at one point how like the angels are going to get like a little frustrated. Some of the angels that like they want to show them beauty, and like the angel Raphael tries to like compose this beautiful symphony and like bird song and like rivers flowing and like all these different like nature sounds at the same time, and Adam like pounces on a bird and just like bites its head off and just like eats it, basically. mid symphony not sympathy.
I was thinking of like a beautiful Disney princess moment when like nature all sings at the same time, like at the beginning of Bambi or like or Snow White or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, Shrek
a bird flies over to put the leaf over his penis, and he just grabs it and bites.
Yeah, which one of these narc-ass angels gave them modesty? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I think modesty is the painters, right? I think even in the Bible, I think it's like, no, they're naked as they come, because there was no, there was no modesty. There was no need for modesty. There was no sin, right?
Right. I'm in Jamie's revised Bible that comes out next year, 2026, along with Riz and Skibbity. There will be a toilet
with G-Man's head coming out of it in front of.
Of course, yeah. No, I was going to say there will be the line from one of the saints that describes it as hanging dong. It's just what I'm going to.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I did send you guys a picture from the 1800s of I forget who the artist was, so unaccredited. But of Lilith talking to the snake in the Garden of Eden with like Adam and Eve in the background there.
Lilith looks like Will Smith.
Yeah, true. Wait, is that some 18-year-old plowing Jada Pinkett Smith in the background? What the hell? That's a great topical reference here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the angels are pretty vexed, right? They want more for their creations. They go to God. They say like, "Hey, we're not giving them a fulfilling life. Let's give them more. Let's teach them. Let us just show up just once. We'll have them self-actualize, and then we'll piece back out." God says, "You know what? I can reabsorb some of you guys so you can understand my plan for humans. And some of the angels do, and they're never seen from again, right? They get absorbed back into the essence of God, which in the Demon the Fallen, Gavial even asks, like, what's the difference between apotheosis and annihilation? Apotheosis being like ascending to a higher divine place.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the difference between the two, right?
I wouldn't mind merging with the big Latina in the sky. That'd be okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Merging right
There's a
between
ladybug on your mic stand there, Ethan. It's just crawling over to Jamie's head.
Yeah. Hey, dude. We're
There's a
lousy with them.
lot. Yeah, there. Even in the city, we were looking outside and just looking across the street, you could see like 300 of them in the sky.
Yeah.
They're looking for a place to get warm before the winter.
They got kicked out of their places because it's they live in the soy fields and it's soy season now. So the farmers destroy all the soy fields and they're like, well, we don't got anywhere to live. They fly around until they die.
Same.
So
they
other
merge
angels,
with the Latina in the sky.
other angels aren't so content to be apotheosised into oblivion, and the matter turns into a bit of a debate, right? One angel, Arimal, eventually sees a vision of the end of the world for humans. Okay, he gets a vision. It's a place of darkness in the future, and he's like a lowly angel. So angels have like a caste system, and they're very hierarchical. So he's like a low one. So he goes to like his direct superiors in the house that he's in. I forget which one it is. And they say like, don't worry about it. God said to chill. So we're going to chill.
They're drilling for oil and then they're lighting it all on fire. They're going to destroy themselves. They're like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, we haven't even invented dinosaurs yet to liquefy.
So he then goes, he gathers this like other, like broader of all the houses, kind of gathers some higher ranking angels to discuss the issue, right? The angels host a great debate on how to fix it. Is God's intention that they intercede on humans' behalf, or that they should rest assured that God's plan is in place and that no action is the correct action, right? This is a classic free will argument where they're like, yeah, some angels being like, well, we were created to shepherd humans and we can't do that. And we see that there's danger coming for them. So we should intervene because that is the divine plan that God had, right? Is that we do intervene, where you have other angels saying like, no, the divine plan is to not. Heading the do nothing side is the angel Uriel, called Uziel in this part of the story, but Uziel is just another name for Uriel, the angel.
Cool.
And he's called Uriel at other places in the story. So I'm going to go with Uriel. Heading the do something side is the angel Belial. That might be a familiar name for some people. That's in some interpretations, Satan, like Lucifer, is different. In some, they're like they overlap, but it's the devil. He's like a Belial, Beelzebub, all names for the devil, basically.
It's cool. In the Xbox game, Mech Assault, like the BattleTech game on Xbox, the mech Uziel, U-Z-I-E-L, there's two configurations of every mech. They have different names. Mm-hmm. Uziel and Belial are the same chassis with different loadouts. So if you want to play that chassis itself with different weapons, it's Uziel and Belial. It's pretty cool. I knew Uziel was from like the Hebrew Bible. I never, maybe if I knew, I forgot that Belial was as well.
Yeah. He's a pretty big angel, I guess, in the whole canon. Is Uriel or Uziel. So I did forget to mention, but you did mention the Mormons being on a planet. This meeting is canonically taking place on the moon. Okay, they went to the moon to talk about this.
Cool.
So the debate continues, right? We have one side saying like, let's do nothing. We have another side saying we got to do something. And it continues until an uninvited guest arrives at the party, the head of the House of the Dawn, so second in command to only God himself, Lucifer, right? So we know which side's the good side now, obviously. There is a schism. Some angels siding with Lucifer, others siding with Uriel. So we have Uriel saying, let's not touch anything. God knows what he's doing. And Lucifer basically saying like, hey, we love humans. We want to help them. We need to do this. Like, we need to do something, basically. And basically says,
boners.
Yeah, he's like, our mandate from God was to love humans, and I love them so much that I would gladly accept any punishment, like to do this for them, basically,
okay.
Right? Which will turn out to not be true. But Lucifer side takes action with an angel of each house appearing before Adam and Eve to describe their role as servants to the young couple. Okay, so one representative from all the 7 houses shows up to say, "Hey, angels are real, by the way." Adam, headless bird in his hand, crunching down on a pigeon skull.
You don't want to prep these people at least have your silhouette appear on a piece of toast before you're just like, guys.
So here's a quote. "It was one night that lasted 1,000 years, in which the two became 4, became many, became a nation of artists and philosophers and builders of wonders. With our aid, true humanity had slipped its bonds and worked its full strength upon the world. It was a time like no other, mankind perfected in a perfect world. But however great the night of rejoicing, the day of reckoning was still to come. We made our marvels under cover of darkness, but the sun, the harsh light of God's pitiless eye, could not be delayed in its course. When the sun came up on the new works of man, it rose with a vanguard of angels. First among them was Michael, formerly the cherub of the unerring beam. Now as he flared above paradise, he announced himself with a new title. I am Michael, seraph of the flaming sword and voice of God. I have come to bear tidings from the maker of all, tidings of his anger and dread retribution." So they were wrong. God did want them to do nothing. Is what that means, basically. Because God then went to Michael, who used to answer to Lucifer, and said, "Hey, you're Lucifer now. You're number 2. Go and do something about this," basically, right? And he's going to offer them a deal or no deal. Put on your Mark Cuban hats, right? Jamie, you're Mr. Wonderful. Okay, both the rebels and humans get offered a deal by Michael.
I feel like you're conflating shows. I guess Deal or No Deal is something that they might say in Shark Tank, but
they're
it's Howie
both bald
Mandel.
guys.
I was thinking
Yeah,
Shark Tank.
exactly. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I feel like I thought Howie Mandel. I said, why did I think Howie Mandel? He's not on that show, but they do deals in Shark Tank, and sometimes they do no deals. So
yes.
yeah,
It would be an acceptable name for that show too. You could call it Deal or No Deal. Yeah.
True. Yeah. So you're Mr. Wonderful. Okay, on Deal or No Deal. Howie Mandel is talking to you and asking you if you want to open the next briefcase. All right, get the character.
Yeah. All right, I follow.
Or something. I don't know how Deal or No Deal. So he offers both sides, both the humans and the angels, the rebel humans and the rebel angels, a deal. Okay.
I'm just thinking of opening the briefcase and getting just like presented with like a small business idea instead of like cash. It's just like, oh yeah, look at that. So you've got like, oh, rectangular towels for cats. And it's like, oh, run that fucking business.
Crackers made out of recycled cardboard. Oh boy.
18. Please open the case, and it's like, it's a sponge with a smiley face.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, great.
$1 trillion business.
So the deal that the angels, the loyalist angels, offer the rebels is simple: return to heaven to be unmade and face eternal oblivion. Okay, that's the deal we're offering you.
Back in the God body. Come on in. You're about to be unmade because you guys don't listen.
Not the God body, not apotheosis. They're going to be unmade and face oblivion. They're going to be without his light for eternity, basically.
Terrible. Okay, I see.
Boy.
Which is hell in this universe. Hell in this universe is described as like complete and utter nothingness, where it's like, oh, you after a century or two, you get used to pitchforks stabbing you, but like you never get used to being completely separated from God's light. Is like the idea. The humans are told to supplicate themselves that they might be made mindless once more. So return to monkey is the deal made to the deal offered to the humans, right? The rebels, the rebel angels, I should say, represent 1/3 of all heaven at this point. So the loyalist angels are about 2/3. I just wrote down the number because I liked it. But so the rebels are number in 33,333,333 angels, which I just like because that means the loyalist angels are 66,666,666. I think is a fun little nod to that it's the loyalists that are the number of the beast, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So of those 33 and 1/3 million, only 2 angels fear the wrath of God enough to surrender. And I didn't write their names down because they're cowards. They don't deserve it, right? The humans were next to respond were with Adam and Eve, known as the All-Father and All-Mother, refusing ignorance. So again, it was described like there was a long night, because night and days probably don't follow the same cycle that we do right now, where they had like maybe thousands, maybe millions of children. We don't know in that time, basically, right? And so like there's like tribes of humans now, but they still don't die. They still live forever. So Adam and Eve are still like these incredibly ancient people who lead these tribes of humans, basically. They have 4 children. One of their 4 children returns to God with their tribe, taking a quarter of humanity back to the loyalist side, basically. We have a quarter of human population is human monkey now. I don't know what happens to them. We're not going to find out. Michael then curses each of the angelic houses in turn, naming the angels of dawn devils before they move to encircle the rebellious humans, not to harm them, but to protect them. So I say when he names them devils, he like cursed each of the houses with like a specific curse and then gave them a specific name. The name that he gives the house of the dawn is devils. So like devils are angels of the house of the dawn in the canon. Here's a quote. God made 7 ranks of Elohim to safely filter his divinity, that it might not overwhelm a fragile cosmos. Now the infinite touched the finite. I could say God struck the world, smote the sun, blasted the starry vault, but in truth, it was not such an effort as that. The merest caress from God's omnipotent hand was sufficient to rend the spheres asunder, casting the planets' perfect orbits into ellipses instead of circles. The friction of endless finite was enough to throw chaos into the ordered gears of nature, enough to put wobble into the orbits of electrons, enough to twist aside the world's axis, enough to fold facets in, one upon the other. Entropy entered the world with God's punishing touch, a wound not instantly fatal, but one from which the universe still slowly bleeds. I look at the world now and see a bruised, battered husk that once was paradise. Humans live out the curses placed on their protectors, while reality itself grinds down to oblivion. So of the curses placed on the angels, all of those, like, humans did nothing but catch strays in this, basically.
Okay.
Because it was like, you love humans so much? Well, they're going to have, like, you love humans and the fact that they can think so much? Well, now they're going to have, like, all these internal thoughts that they struggle to cope with, okay? You love humans so much, and you're so glad that they never die? Well, guess what? Now they get old and they're going to meet you in death, bitch, okay?
Okay.
So that's, like, all the curses that are on the angels, which are real curses, because these people, like, the angels, all they do is love humans. That's, like, their whole shtick, right? Gaviel is pretty distraught, recounting for us the end of paradise, but his rage has just barely begun to awaken. Okay, I'm going to give us one more quote here. The war was, at first, an angel war, fought with swords of courtesy and arrows of honor. But one rebel man saw how his brother's tribe had the love of God, while he and his were bound outside in darkness. And this outcast coveted God's love and God's mercy. So when he saw his brother giving sacrifice, he decided to do so as well. And he told himself he acted from reverence, and he told himself he loved his brother, and he told himself that what he was doing was good and right, and that if God demanded what he loved best, then he had no choice but to act on God's cruel request. But that man, that first murderer, first liar, first deceiver, hated his brother as much as he loved him, and he hated God as much as he loved him, and he took joy in making his own cruelty in God's cruelty. That was the fall mortal. That was the first sin, and no angel did it, nor any demon. We did not kill our kin. We did not paint God with our own base desires. We did not take lies and try to make them truth. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the first vampire, Caine. Welcome back to Bible School. We were just talking about number 1 fratricider in the world, Caine himself, right?
Caine?
So you guys know the story of Caine, right? We've talked about it on this show before, at least in an SCP episode, where they threw Abel to the bottom of the ocean, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, famously, two guys, bros. God comes down to them, says, "Hey, give me an offering, dudes." They say, "Sure, no problem." They give him his best. Caine was a grub farmer. He farming grubby little potatoes, and he gives God some grubby potatoes. Abel, Giga Chad, has a sheep. Says, "I'm gonna go kill a sheep on an altar." Right? And God says,
blood is
"Damn,
thicker than potatoes."
True. You gotta admit. Hey, we disagree a lot on this show. It's pretty contentious. You know, this is the debate floor here at the Lore Boys. But one thing we can all agree on: blood is thicker than potatoes. And God says, "Cool. I love Abel. I love your gift." And he says to Caine, "Did it? This is so great. Did it come with a gift receipt?"
I gotta make sure these potatoes fit. I just want to.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna try them now. I just I'll leave them in the bag.
And so Cain kills Abel. That's the story from the Bible that we all know and love, right?
Yeah.
That Jamie so wishes he could read. Oh, he wishes so bad he could read it. He just can't.
I wish I could. I've been trying every day. I pick it up. I make it 3 untwos and 4 thuses, and it knocks me out. I'm just asleep, no matter what I'm doing. Driving heavy machinery, cooking. I'm just out.
Potatoes are cringe. Lamb's blood is based, and then obviously,
So I did post 2 pictures of you guys from the game, from a game, and then from the book that I was reading, the Book of Nod, which features Cain stabbing his brother Abel. I believe he kills him with a rock in the Bible. I think he rocks.
I always thought it was a branch, or like the shepherd's crook is what I mean. Again, we're just interpreting the Bible live on air at this point.
Before he kills him, he yanks him off stage with a big old shepherd's crook.
Yeah, exactly. His shoes spin in place for a couple times, then land back on the stage.
To me, it really looks like keep your gifts out of God's mouth, and then he slaps him, huh? Topical reference?
Yeah.
True. Chris Rock is so able, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the Oscars is just like, yes. That's one of those, like, there are cathedrals everywhere for people with eyes to see sort of thing. It's just like the Oscars is Genesis.
Yeah. Guy looks up from his Jesus toast on his TV tray when he's watching the Oscars and sees that. Blows his fucking mind. So the next time the sacrifice needs to be made, right after the first one, Cain looks for the thing he truly finds the most beautiful in the world and sacrifices it, his brother. So in the canon here, I don't know how the Bible describes it. If the Bible describes it more than that, I doubt it, but I don't know. But in the Book of Nod, in the World of Darkness, it's very much described as he's like, he failed God and he feels bad about that, and he thinks about God's commandment to like give the thing he loves the most, and he's like, I love my brother one thing, so I guess God really wants me to kill my brother,
Okay.
So it's not like an angry jealousy thing. It is described in this. And this book is poetry. Like, it's written as poems, basically, with like an in-fiction historian adding footnotes to it, basically. Okay. So a quote, "And the blood of Abel covered the altar and smelled sweet as it burned. But my father said, 'Cursed are you, Cain, who killed your brother. As I was cast out, so shall you be. And he exiled me to wander in darkness, the land of Nod.'" So the father in the Bible is God. The father in World of Darkness is Adam. Adam's like, you killed your brother, dumbass, get out of here. You can't stay. So he leaves. Cain goes to Nod. The land of Nod is a thing. It's a place in the Bible, I guess you could say. In Hebrew, Nod literally means wandering. So it's like the place of wandering. It's just described as the place that Cain goes when he's exiled, basically. Anything outside of East of Eden is a phrase you might have heard as well. East of Eden is like the land of Nod, the land that Cain went to. He just walks into the east from.
Oh, okay, cool.
Outside the Garden of Eden, which is where all humans are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I imagine Adam just like packing him up like one last little brown paper bag of pigeons. And he's just like, I beheaded these for you.
Bundle full of pigeons.
Yeah, exactly. You need to go. I still love you. I'm very disappointed. Just take this. Your mother doesn't want to say goodbye.
You're either being a magician or a guy who eats pigeons if you're getting a bag of birds before you
Well, maybe he's going out there. He's going to learn some magic. So you might be onto something here, James.
Yeah, I was going to say, the vampires can enthrall people.
So wander he does. He goes to the land of wandering, the land of Nod, and there's nothing else out for him to really fuck with, Adam and Eve and all the other humans were banished to a land of dirt, and he was kicked out of the land of dirt, right? So it's not looking great for him. He's hungry, cold, and alone, at least for a time, because at some point in all his moseying about, another figure appears before him here where no others should be. Okay, and I'll give you guys the quote. "Then there came to me a sweet voice, a honey voice, words of succor, words of surcease. A woman dark and lovely, with eyes that pierced the darkness, came to me. 'I know your story, Cain of Nod,' she said, smiling. 'You are hungry. Come, I have food. You are cold. Come, I have clothes. You are sad. Come, I have comfort. Who would comfort one so cursed as I? Who would clothe me? Who would feed me? I am your father's first wife. who disagreed with the one above and gained freedom in the darkness. I am Lilith. So Lilith, Adam's first wife, has been out there this whole time. She'd been exiled once. She'd already been exiled, right? She was made of clay and she was kicked out. So our true boss babe is here to save the day, right? And I did send you guys a picture of Lilith saving Adam, as it so clearly looks like in that picture, right? Or not saving Adam, excuse me, saving Caine.
She doesn't look like a banshee or a witch monster at all. Very. No.
She takes Caine in and explains that she has found ways to care for herself in this darkness. So again, the books, the world is called the World of Darkness. And it's really implied at this point that like the World of Darkness is like the Land of Nod. This book is called the Land of Nod, which is like the source material for vampires and stuff, or like the first vampire. So to me, like the World of Darkness is like anything outside of where Eden was, right? Where Eden was originally before all the humans got kicked out.
Yeah.
So she says, I found ways to care for myself here in this darkness by being woke. Okay. But warns Caine that awakening might kill him. Okay. So she says, I'm awakened. I interpret that as woke. And she says, Caine, if you get too woke, it'll kill you. Women can be woke,
might get
but
canceled.
men can't. Yeah. No, wait, it's the woke people who do the canceling, right? I don't know how it works anymore.
Back in the day, they flipped the script at this point.
I don't know what comedians complain about anymore, okay?
I don't
know. So Caine replies that a life without power isn't worth anything, and Lilith drains her blood into a bowl from which he drinks deeply. Caine describes the awakening as falling forever into the deepest darkness, but he's woke now, okay? And that's just the price you pay to be woke. Fall forever into darkness. While he's dwelling in this darkness, right? This newfound power that he's kind of coming into, the blood of Lilith, the Archangel Michael appears before him, flaming sword and all, and offers Caine God's mercy. Okay, like, bro, you're kind of going on a weird path here, dude. You got to get off Facebook. If you want, I can cut your head off with my fire sword. Caine declines.
That's my friend, honestly.
A bullet to the head, doesn't sound so bad sometimes.
That's a great out of context one.
Caine declines, okay, saying he's pretty good not being killed, and Michael curses him. Quote, then, for as long as you walk this earth, you and your children will fear my living flame, and it will bite deep and savor your flesh.
Oh, is this going to be the sun?
No, it's not going to be the sun. We will talk about the sun. So I was just going to say living flame is like a thing in the games where it's like, it is like a power. So like there are, there's like Vampire the Masquerade is one of the game books. There's also like a werewolf one. And one of them is like a Frankenstein's monster one where you play as like I think they're called Awakened. And they're powered by this living flame. So it's just like a fantasy thing or whatever, but it is a way of saying like, hey, this is effective against vampires because the Archangel Michael cursed the first vampire. He's not the first vampire yet, but he will be. To be weak to this living flame thing.
Okay.
The day after that, another angel, Raphael, shows up. He lets Caine know that Abel's forgiven him from the afterlife and offers Caine mercy once more. He's like, your dead brother said he's chill with you now. Just let me kill you.
You want to slice his za? It's me and the other angels down in the sewers have plenty of pizza.
I gotta slice your head off first, bro.
Yeah. Every time they go back to God, it's like, well, did you offer to cut his head off? It's like, we did. He said no twice.
Slicer instead of shredder.
Once again, he refuses, right? He racks up another curse here. Then for as long as you walk this earth, you and your children will fear the dawn, and the sun's rays will seek to burn you like fire wherever you hide always. Hide now, for the sun rises to take its wrath on you. So Caine's like, cool, deuces. I'm off to the sewers. Got to find a place that I can hide until morning.
Yeah.
Where he's visited by Uriel in the sewers, basically, right? Who's going to try one more.
Like, your food will forever be unseasoned. You will never taste garlic. Is this?
I wish I had it, but it is. I don't think I have the exact quote, but there is like a line that says like your food will turn to ash in your mouth or something like that. Okay. So
your
like,
hummus will be forever bland, no garlic whatsoever. It's just like, no, why would you do this?
I'm pretty sure it is Uriel that is straight up that curse. So
okay.
Maybe I have it written down here. Oh yeah, I'm about to say it actually. So.
Oh, thank God.
So the angel of death offers him a gentle repose. You'll see angel of death offers him a gentle repose, and Caine's answer is the same as ever: that he does not seek God's forgiveness; he seeks his own forgiveness for what he's done. So he's like, God can forgive me all he wants. That's not what I'm about. I need to forgive myself. Won't save him from another curse, of course, right? For as long as you walk this earth, you and your children will cling to darkness. You will drink only blood. You will eat only ashes. You will be always as you were at death, never dying, living on. You will walk forever in darkness, and all you touch will crumble into nothing until the last days. Pretty general curse, this one. It's even like one of the footnotes for the you will eat only ashes is like the in fiction footnote is like, oh, some interpretations of this are like you'll just be sad forever. Like you'll never have joy again, basically. But yes, your hummus will have no more garlic. They'll be out of garlic. They'll be out of garlic dipping sauce at the pizza place forever.
Oh no!
No! A bullet to the head, I'm telling you. A final angel. I don't even like the garlic sauce. It's too garlicky for me.
You like ranch.
I'm a ranch guy.
I'm all about honey garlic. Pizza is the worst pizza in the country.
Dipping sauce game, though.
Dipping sauce game out of this world.
Yeah, the honey garlic is goated. I love it. It's so good.
I like the creamy garlic. It's like creamy and garlicky.
Creamy garlic is what I can't do. I'm sure I like the honey garlic. I like hot mustards. I like lots of. I'm a dip guy. But creamy garlic is just too much garlic for me. Same with falafel or shawarmas or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe give me hummus on that bitch, man. Hummus and hot sauce.
Yesterday I made eggs, 3 eggs, 2 cloves of garlic. And nice. I loved every minute of it.
That's crazy, man. I mean, not great. It's not for me. That's all.
Yeah.
So a final angel would appear. But this one's not going to give him a curse, finally. Gabriel, the angel of mercy, lets Caine know that a path to redemption yet exists for him and his kin if only they seek it upon the road of Golconda. They're just saying this to say, like, there is an in-fiction way to unvampire yourself, right? There's an annoying fucking quest you got to do in Skyrim to unvampire yourself. Same with this one, where you got to go to Golconda, right?
Yep. And then if you try and use the console commands, you'll never actually get perfect 60 out of 60 achievements in Oblivion. You'll forever be stuck at 58. And
that is not no big deal. You don't have perfect achievements, man. You fixed that, remember?
And then I fixed it, but then they changed the app, and oh my god, yeah,
Madre de Dios. I cheated, and they don't want to recognize me for all my hard work.
Yeah,
you got no sympathy from me, homie. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just looking to express my rage at the less than 6.
This is Jamie's curse from God, basically. He rejected a deal from an angel to play Oblivion properly.
These achievements will turn to ashes in your profile. No!
So Caine awakens. He's in like the dark place right now. After these curses, after these angel visits, he finds he like comes to his power. He feels his newfound power, strength and speed like never before, the power to control minds, to obscure himself, alter forms, see beyond sight. All these and more are new powers to him, and he's like exploring them, but Lilith tells him, stop, pump the brakes, kid. Okay? She explains that he's reaching too far, that he threatens to exceed his grasp. Okay? So she's like, you're gonna hurt yourself, honey. Okay? You're gonna pull a hammy if you keep doing that.
This only makes sense after they've been invented. You're getting out over your skis. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Skis are, and you find skis in the wild, right? It's just 2 pieces of wood. So
that's true.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, humans been around for how long? Like 30,000 years, something like that? Like the way we are
modern
now?
Humans, yeah. Like 200,000, but like with culture, yeah, like 30, 40.
I think a hammer came like surprisingly late into that. Like I remember hearing when a hammer was invented, and it's like, it's a stick and a rock. Shouldn't you have been able to do that? Or I guess us finding remains of a hammer that would have been like, we probably bonked things, but
yeah,
doing
and
it
it's also like
style.
the wood of the hammer, the wood of the handle will decompose way faster than a rock, right? Which
yeah, like a rock with a hole in it is probably a hammerhead.
Yeah. But then it's like, well, did they just tie it to it? You know, they didn't find the way to bore through it yet. Who knows?
Those savages and their rope hammers, like swinging shit around to try and hammer in nails.
You get some wicked acceleration on that. I bet you it's pretty effective if you could train some accuracy. I bet. But you do
That's
pretty
a
good.
one-hit thing, probably. Actually, yeah.
Dude, imagine a guy at a construction site just dual wielding swing
Flails.
hammers. Tap, 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 just a line of nails going in. That'd be so
Like a
sick.
medieval flails, like watang, watang. I'm just saying, in this fictional world, paradise was real. Angels made it. You're telling me it was paradise, and I can't even hit the powder? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Be real. So Lilith tells him to stop. She not only tells him, she commands him, right? So Caine's power comes from Lilith. He drank her blood, and that's where he gets his power. So she has like direct influence over him. She's able to.
Where
to
did
stop
she
him.
get her power?
It's not clear. She
Okay.
was wandering for a while. She wandered into the darkness. She found some secret. She drank some other lady's blood. I don't know.
Okay.
Not important, I guess, for our story. These things got to start somewhere, and maybe she's just badass enough. She's made from clay. She lived out she's made from pure clay, like Adam. Adam didn't spend all that time in the darkness. Maybe he could have. He was too busy fucking his own rib,
Yeah. That's
when Adam fucks Eve, is that masturbation?
Yeah, exactly. He got his rib review. No, wait, he got his rib removed so he could get his rib to suck his own dick. Is that how that
Oh, the McRib is back, baby.
Oh my god.
Fucking a sandwich. So she has some power over him, and he acquiesces to her. He like stops testing his limits, basically. The powers he now wields are hers. The Lady of Nights, as she's called. He's just borrowing them to some level, but he would rebel against her before too long. So while she's not watching, Caine opens his powers fully, and he sees a path. Okay, so she's the Lady of Darkness. Her powers come from the darkness itself, from the world of darkness, from the darkness away from whatever the darkness means in the sense. Because again, we do have sunrises and stuff like that. We know.
Mhm.
But like whatever that darkness is, she draws her power from that, and he sees like the blood that he drank. He's like, if I can get more blood, all my problems will be solved. Right? Totally not an addict. Yeah, if I could just get a bit more blood, I'll be good. And then I'll quit. So he by consuming the lifeblood of others, he can give himself the power he needs to break his bond to the Lady of Night. Right? So he replaces the bond he has to her, with his own, and he flees the land of Nod because he knows she's not going to be happy. She just lost her best servant. One of the curses in Jewish Mitzram, the folklore, is that she will love, but when she leaves Adam, when she leaves the Garden of Eden, it's basically like she will love, but no one will ever love her back.
Okay.
So like Adam doesn't really care that she leaves, even though that she's kicked out, even though she still loves him. And then she meets Caine, and she loves Caine, but then Caine's like, I don't need you. But because she's like, that's her curse from God, basically, is that she'll never be loved. So he flees the land of Nod. He flees the wandering to go somewhere else. Who knows? But she goes somewhere where it said that she can't find him and her demons can't find him.
Okay.
So we don't know where he goes. It's unclear. But wherever it was, we know it had babes. Okay, so that's what's important. So
so now he is shredding Nar. He's hitting the powder now. It's just all snow bunnies.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
He left the night lady for some ladies of the night.
Oh.
It seems like, and it's open to some lore boys canon here, because again, this is just like a poem, so there's not like a ton to build. Like there is a lot of lore in there, but there's not like that much to build off of. But it's like he had a tribe, right? He had a quarter of the population of humans, or a third of the population of humans that were his lineage, right? Because he's one of 4 children of Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah,
one quarter of them went back to heaven, went back to God. So he presumably collects them at some point, or maybe he had them with him the whole time, which is like when he was complaining that he's like sad and lonely and he needed a goth mommy. It's like, dude, like your children are there, and the mothers of those children that you had sex with are also here. So like, which are also your children, which is, the gross thing about the Bible, but it is what it is. When you start with 2 people, it gets gross fast.
I mean, they only had 2 characters in the original draft. I was like, well, I guess we just got to work with what we got.
Yeah, exactly.
You got any more clay, dude? Like, can we?
Hey, God, can you take my rib, man? Can you take? I don't want to fuck my sister. Can you please? I actually don't know where Cain and Abel's wives come from. Maybe they. It's probably the thing that in the Bible they just don't mention women. So if Adam and Eve had daughters, they're just not mentioned, right? That's it. Never mind.
Probably, yeah.
I figured it out. It's just sexism. Uh, so wherever he goes, we know it has babes. He has some granddaughter somewhere that he thinks is hot. This is a babe named Zilla, whom Caine covets deeply.
Okay. Big lizard.
Yeah, exactly. Zilla, come God. Or she's without God. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know.
Oh.
So she does not return the affection, okay, to Caine. So she's like, Grandpa, stop. You're gross. And Caine, and Caine's pretty desperate to win her over. He's wandering one night when he comes upon an old crone singing to the moon. And he's just been wandering, kind of thinking, like, how can I get my granddaughter to sleep with me? And he finds this old crone, this old lady singing to the moon. And the crone claims that she yearns for something she cannot have. It's the exact problem that Caine's having, right? Caine's like, Caine literally says, what can you do? You know, what can you do, huh? And the crone tells him, I've got some ideas. You just got to drink some of my blood and come back tomorrow, and I'll tell you. And he goes, I'm horny enough to try anything. So he sucks on her neck, drinks some blood, and he returns the next night, okay? When he does, she's not singing to the moon this time. She's sleeping on a rock. So he nudges her awake, and she says, okay, yeah, I was going to tell you, but I need you to drink my blood again and then come back tomorrow, except that time, bring a bowl and a knife, okay? He goes, all right, still blue balling here, so we'll give it a go. Huh? He does so. He's desperate to gain Zilla's favor. He's willing to try anything except for moving on and leaving her alone. And so he drains the crone's blood into the bowl the next night, right? She gives him some berries and herbs to mix with it, which he does, and then she tells him to drink it, which again he does. Surprise, she wasn't even a real Nigerian prince. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was a trick. It was a trick she recognized the power in him, and this was a trick to tie her destiny to his and give herself immortality. She recognizes that he's
just
immortal.
got 30-pound catfished by an old crone.
Yeah, exactly. He's cursed to never die, and she's like an older woman, so she's like, hey, like if I can get a slice of his power, you know, then I can also never die. So here's a quote. I have made you powerful, Caine of Enoch, Caine of Nod, but you will be forever bound to me. I have made you master of all, but you will never forget me. Your blood, potent as it is now, will bond those who drink it, as you did once a night for 3 nights. You will be the master. They will be your thrall, as you are mine. For though Zilla will love you as you wanted, you will love me forever. And I assume she hits him with a cackler too in there, but it wasn't written in the their want to do. Yeah, so this is basically the ability for Caine to pass on his vampiric gift and create thralls is what he's given now, right? So if he has more children, they might have the curse, but now he can take people who aren't vampires and turn them into vampires by not drinking their blood, but by letting them drink his blood. Is how Caine and early vampires would create new vampires. I don't know if that's still the case come the time of the games, which is by and large modern day. Like it's kind of like a Buffy the Vampire setting where it's modern day, but there's vampires and werewolves and stuff like that.
Yeah. There is like vampire fiction goes like back and forth between whether you drink their blood to become a vampire or they bite you and then that like infects you with it, right?
This is the former.
Yeah.
So the crone's given him the ability to create thralls. He starts with Zilla, of course, but in return, the crone's now top dog around these parts, right? She's like, I'm the daddy vampire because you drank of my blood. So Caine's her thrall, right? Caine's broken bonds before, though, also with a goth mom. This one won't last too long, okay? For a year and a day, he labors in service to the crone, providing her his blood for various potions and elixirs, which she concocts. Some of his children are taken by her, never to be seen again, presumably eaten, right? Old crone takes your children, you don't see them again.
They're going right into the oven.
Yeah, right into the oven. Right
They're
into the gingerbread
delicious.
oven. But throughout the year, Caine never drank from her blood again. Okay, so he does that specifically and deliberately. He's letting the bond loosen. The crone was not aware of the power she had or did not have over him, it seems, as she thinks that he's fully her thrall. But Caine knows that the bond is weakening over time. Like time is affecting it to some. So he's like, I'm not fully enthralled, basically.
He's been cheeking the blood like medication when you're in an insane asylum. He's like hiding it. Like
Yeah, she conveniently gives him little blood pills for it.
Right, yeah.
And then he's got corn syrup and red dye, and he's like swapping them out and be like, yummy blood. He waits a year and a day. Then he goes to the crone seeking some advice. He's like, hey, crone, I've been working for you for a year now. Could you help me with a problem I'm having? I really look up to you. And he says, I'm afraid of my new vampire children. I've made all these vampire children, and they're scary. They're strong. They're, I'm worried that they're going to seek my blood and are going to kill me or gravely wound me, that they're going to mess me up. So I need a way to mess them up. Okay. So he says, crone, can you share some secret knowledge with me, a way to defeat vampires? Right. The crone walks over to the tree, a gopher wood tree to be specific, which I just think is a nice touch because gopher wood is the wood that the ark was made out of, Noah's Ark.
Okay.
And it's like lost knowledge. It is a translation from some point in the past, and we will never know what specifically gopher wood was. It's just there's not, unless we find some new text or something, I suppose. But we don't. It's in the Bible as describing the ark, and we're like, we don't know what that is. So I think that's fine. So she goes to a gopher wood tree. She breaks off a branch. She sharpens the limb down to a fine stake and hands it to him, and tells him that if he takes a stake of still living wood and pierces a wayward vampire's heart, that it will paralyze them and make them susceptible once more to his command. So she's classic. This is the invention of the stake in the heart, right? Importantly, and this is something that I've seen in plenty of other vampire fiction as well, but something that does differ. Sometimes it kills the vampire, sometimes it paralyzes them, right? I know in Dungeons and Dragons, a stake to the heart of a vampire paralyzes them, doesn't kill them. So, but it'll hold them in place long enough for you to do your thing, right?
Right. Okay.
I didn't know the still living wood part of that.
I think that's a nice touch. I don't know if that's in canon at all, but I had the same thought. I was like, oh, that's like a nice little. You can't just use any old stake. You got to fashion it for the act. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That
like
IKEA mulch shit would never kill a vampire.
Yeah, you can't do second degree vampire murder. It's got to be first degree, right?
Okay.
Or no, sorry, the other way. You can't do first degree. You can't do premeditated. You can't plan your stakes in advance. It's got to be night of, like that fucking son of a bitch. I'm gonna fucking. You got to be hastily sharpening a fucking bar stool leg or whatever,
You just didn't read the instructions well. Hit him with some particle board steak, and nothing happens. And, eggs on your face. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So Caine thanks her and drives the stake into her heart, paralyzing her. Right. With the force of his will, which he's been gathering for a year, he breaks her bond and then leaves her upon the ground to await the sunrise and quote Raphael's gentle smile. So she burns to dust with the sun when it rises, paralyzed as she is by the stake. Caine would go on to accomplish much more, of course, but that is going to have to be an episode for another time. I've been your host, Ethan Palmer. Thanks so much for listening. Vampires are spooky, right? We did a Halloween.
Venom was spooky. We're fulfilling our contract.
We're like Halloween guys now. Can you believe it? Yeah.
You think when the sun came up, it was like that style of sun where there's like a line on the ground moving forward, and it's like feet first, and she just feels herself going to dust from the feet first. Oh boy, that would be rough.
I'm picturing the Teletubby sun, like laughing and giggling up there,
with like an angel's face in it.
Yeah, that's Raphael, the smiling angel. I mean, they're cherubs, right? They're often portrayed angels as little babies. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why not? I've been your host, Ethan Palmer. Thanks so much for listening. If you like the show, consider leaving us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice. Jamie here streams on twitch.tv/LoreBoyJames. You want to talk about it, Jimbo?
Wow, you got it right. Yeah, Loreboy James. Playing who knows what by now, but come on by on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to around 9 p.m. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. But come on by. We have a great community, and it's growing all the time. Peter, what's going on with you?
At Loreboy's Podcast on Instagram, and then my comic, The Black Frontier, is available on Amazon. Somebody messaged me on Amazon. I'm so sorry, everybody who sends me messages on Amazon, on Instagram. I'm not fucking reading them, but I did clear my unread messages today, and one person had sent me just like, your book is 164 in erotica again. I was like, we're back in the top 200. That feels great. Let's go.
Thank you. Heroes out there doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, we got a Patreon. Check it out. A lot of hundreds of dozens of hours of bonus content there of us chitting and chatting and shooting the shit and all sorts of fun stuff. And it starts as low as $3, $3 US buckaroonies a month. Okay.
And we'll
3
read your
US
name on the
US league.
show. We'll
Yeah,
read
we
your name
will.
out loud.
If you guys want to get in touch with us, loreboyspodcast@gmail.com, or there's a comment field on our website, loreboys.com. We will sometimes, maybe soon, read your emails on what we call a mailbag, this term that we've invented. And we'd love to hear from you guys. So send them in if you got them. If you want us to read almost anything, we'll say almost anything live on air if you put
Especially
it in
if you
an
tell
email.
us not to. We're just blow past that fucking shit and read it anyway.
Every goddamn time. It's crazy.
I set that signal out on the stream too. Like we're all caught up on email. So if you start writing one in right now, there's a very good chance you'll get in on the next time we read a mailbag in our own chronological time. Not in your chronological time, but yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And if you don't trust Patreon, we have Lord Boys Prime, a service which we've always offered, where we are looking for people to sculpt the perfect world for us, right? So I'm looking for probably something with a lot of cheeses, maybe some jazz I'm a fan of, in the background. And I don't know, I guess just describe for me your perfect Sunday, and, we'll go from there. All right, dear listeners. So if you want to subscribe to Lord Boys Prime, what I'm saying is basically you guys will probably have to be my unseen, and emphasis on unseen, servants for the rest of time. Okay, you'll have to love me unwaveringly, and remain unseen to me for all time. Right, and do whatever you can to take care of me and make sure I'm the goodest boy.
Well, yeah. My perfect Sunday starts at 9 a.m. at the Church of Big Booty Latinas, and we're putting in God's work every Sunday.
He's chasing pigeons in the courtyard outside.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need you guys to show up at the square with lots of little breadcrumbs and throw them out to bring the pigeons in, and then Jamie will show up. You guys got to scatter so he doesn't see you, and we're all rooting for him to catch one of these days. Honestly,
I'm getting close. I'm getting real close.
You've nicked a few times. That's for sure.
Now I'm just imagining that like French meal where they like drown a bird in cognac and like let it marinate for a while, but now you've got like just like parking lot pigeons marinated in like fucking Eucharist wine. It's just like like a delicacy.
A drunk ass Jamie, drunk on Eucharist wine, chasing down pigeons.
Oh, I mean, dude,
it's the kind of stuff we offer over at Lord Boys Prime.
We're just one pigeon away from that happening already, frankly.
And I think that would constitute a Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
Out.